Hi, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Laws of Community this week. I'm Ronald J. Raymond, like always, and this is Hanna Sumrall.
Hello, hello, world.
So, thank you for joining us today for this segment. This week, since it is the new year, Happy New Year's, everybody. Since we last spoke to you, it was right around Christmas. So, now it is the new
Yes,
year,
happy New Year.
2023, and this is our first show of the month and of the year. So it is going to be a special one. We are introducing and uh, interviewing our good friend and producer, Blanca, who is the founder of the Laws of Life Network Summit and digital branding and marketing services.
Yeah, so we're going to be touching on the virtual aspect of community building today. We've talked a lot. Let's see, with Johnny, we did a lot coming up with the Global Vision Conference, obviously going to be in person, but streaming live as well. So, yeah, we'll put up a little bit of information about the Global Vision Conference too, because we are still promoting that happening on January 21st. The awesome Les Brown will be there, and we will be on stage. You can be on stage too. Actually, you can connect with Blanca or ourselves, any of us. We can get that worked out for you. So yeah, that was an in-person thing, which it'll be live streaming as well. Hey mom, thanks for watching. My mom is so awesome. She's on here
Thank you
every
for
week with
showing up.
us.
Yep.
But so then we had Daniel Johnson. Actually, his was a little bit about doing that virtual community, going into. And if you haven't watched any of our old episodes, definitely go back and watch those. They're recorded live on our Facebooks, on the Oasis Fundamentals Facebook page. Please go like and follow that. We also have the Crystal Dragon Illumination page. Please go like and follow that. It goes on Ron's personal Facebook page every week. And then also, which we have not told you guys, the other 137 places besides Facebook that we run our show. Specifically, I don't know if anyone else uses Spotify, but it's on Spotify. And we got a few others.
Apple
We'll definitely
Podcasts as well.
yes, thank you. Apple Podcast. And do you remember any others right now, hun?
Uh, I
I
don't
know we
remember.
got
There were a couple
137 in
others
total. It's on
I
the
hadn't
Roku
heard of.
Laws of Life. But yeah, definitely hit us up on any other stations that you can find us, and we'll put out a full list of those at some point. But yeah, you can catch up on all of our old episodes, and then after Daniel Johnson, who did we have next? Yari. Oh, how did I forget that one?
Yeah, so yep, and then Caroline to close off last month. So we're
And
all
then
and and here's Blanca. So she's actually going to be the one really closing off all of us. Wrapping up everybody talking about the Global Vision Conference this month. I believe she'll be the last person speaking on behalf of
do
that.
you?
Um,
I don't know. I don't know. You. I think you might be wrong. We might have another one. Remember?
we might have
We'll
another
have to.
one,
We'll have to see about that.
but uh, so in regards to community and how she's going to really impact that today. One thing I would love to say on just the topic with Blanca and her laws of life is, we met her ultimately because of an online community of people. I when I was a telemarketer a few years ago, I was told to look up Grant Cardone for telemarketing, cold calling, and stuff like that. And so I learned about him and his online stuff, and I was looking into that. And so we ended up deciding to purchase some stuff through his online services and his mentorship, and ultimately connected with one of his sales guys who got us to an in-person event. And that's where we met Blanca. So, not everything ultimately starts in person with building your community. Sometimes it starts from something you find online, people you find online, and the community that surrounds them. So, that's one thing we've noticed since we've met Blanca. Her community, she really helps people, entrepreneurs, business owners online figure out how to connect from a longer distance, people that she knows all over the world, people like she's had, you know, people like we would have never met the Morris the Connector or Daniel Johnston, who was on our show. You know, we met him through Laws of Life Network Summit. So we wouldn't have had him on our show if it weren't for her network and her online community presence. So it is a lot more powerful in today's society than any of us realize.
Well, and I mean, I think we can all agree that it definitely kind of kicked up a notch once good old COVID hit and everybody was literally locked into their house and had no other choice but a virtual atmosphere. And so now, I mean, it's kind of just you got to merge those two together now.
Yeah, and the way that she'll go over that is really the power of this right here, webcasting. You know, because a lot of during COVID, that is really what got a lot of entrepreneurs on their feet, a lot of people out of their sticks that they were finding themselves in. It's really, you know, being able to find yourself in a community of people through the power of your own voice and your webcasting and stuff like that. So, you know, really excited to go about how, you know, go over all of that with her and figure that out. If we would like to introduce her now. Hi there, Blanca. Oh, welcome. Oh,
how's it going tonight? How's it going tonight?
It's going well. How about yourself?
I am so honored to be with both of you. You two have become family, and like literally, I just can't stop smiling. It's just such a joy to be here with you tonight. So thank you for inviting me as your guest of honor this evening.
Thank you for being here. I mean, you've had us as a guest of honor a couple times on your show or for, you know, hosting some of your breakout rooms. So thank you for taking the time and being here on our show with us today and being able to introduce yourself and who you are to us. So
you're very welcome. It is my pleasure. I am so excited to be here.
Well, and obviously we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Blanca and the Laws of Life. I mean, can we just put that out there?
Actually, you know what, you would, because you're both born to be digital influencers, celebrities, artists, and you are both amazing. I'm just blessed that I get to be a part of the journey.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Oh, thank you, Blanca.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? What do you have on your mind tonight?
Well, I was going to ask you, what if, you know, since you always ask on your Law of Life Summit what your laws of life is, what is your law of community?
Well, my number one law is that community is something that I feel very passionate about. And I think that everybody in a community has a responsibility to grow it and to invite others into it and to make them feel welcome. That's the key, that it keep on growing. Absolutely. Like a country.
Absolutely. Well said. I mean, you can't really, you know, you can't have a bunch of dairy farms supplying dairy to, you know, stores if you don't have people working the dairy farm or running that dairy to the stores. So, you know, it really does take everybody to do something.
100% right. Absolutely.
Yep.
And it's my pleasure
to see.
Takes a village. Oh, yes. And it really warms my heart to see you doing this show, Laws of Community, and how you have both traveled the country extensively to connect with people, to help entrepreneurs meet new connections, to build the community, to build your own community. So you're always building your own individual community, but then you're also helping other people build their community. So there's actually two communities. There's the personal community, and everybody has their own community, their own platform. This actually just occurred to me literally in this moment. I never even realized this before. I'm having an epiphany right now. Light bulb moment, baby. Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
Yep.
I'm telling you. So because you have your platform and I have mine, but yet we're constantly helping each other grow each other's platforms. And that's the key.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And uh, you have any questions for Blanca specifically? You want to ask her?
Well, I was gonna ask if you could speak on, because what we're doing, we technically call this a webcast, but we submit it as a podcast as well. So, Blanca, would you say those two are kind of like one and the same almost if you do it right, like if you do it the way we're doing it?
Definitely. I think that, a lot of people, I use the word webcast to infer the video component of the production. Podcast normally infers audio only. And what I love about our show and your show, The Law of Community, is that it's both a video and an audio, that you're distributing it to 137 channels, because you guys have played big. You've committed to building community and taking it global. And that's the key, because why only do video outlets when you have all those audio outlets too? So I think it's great if you can do the hybrid approach and do both. And a lot of people don't realize that it's not really that expensive to do. It's a very achievable goal, but they just need the right team to help them do it. But I think that it's getting you a lot. I think you guys are going far very fast. And I think it's a wonderful thing to see.
Thank you. And I sorry, my apologies. And so on that note of webcasting, then would you say that with webcasting, it gives more of a sense of connection, or do you think you can get that connection with podcasting as much?
That is such a phenomenal question. And the answer to me is I am a big fan of the video. That's why I do the Tuesday Summit on Zoom. I prefer a Zoom meeting. I mean, I love Clubhouse, right? Clubhouse is an audio only networking platform, and I love it. I adore it. But when I see everyone, including the two of you, at the International Summit on Tuesdays, when we're here together in this webcast with the video, I just feel that there's something about being human. We're such visual creatures, and that when we connect eyeball to eyeball, the connection is even deeper. That's just my opinion. Maybe call me a little old-fashioned, but I do enjoy, I love seeing you guys right now. I love seeing the expressions on your face. And I like seeing the words on the screen. I like seeing the captions. For me, it makes the experience more enjoyable.
I totally agree. I can kind of repeat what I said on the last summit the other day. It definitely is, like what you just said. It's refreshing because every time I look forward to your summit, because there's people like Camille, who is another person. Anybody watching is it's her charity that the whole global vision conference will be funding towards to help. All the profits go to her charity. She goes and reaches out to the communities and helps. But Camille, every time I see her on your summit, or anytime I see Laura Beth, they almost always have a smile on their face when I look at their picture. And I can't help but to smile myself, even if I've been running through my head about whatever I'm going through during the day, because just being there and seeing these people have this positivity, who have been through what they've been through and what they go through in their lives, it's so empowering to see that they just constantly have a smile on their face. And that's the really big thing about webcast with connecting face to face. You get to see that genuine emotion. So
100%. Or even when someone's surprised, like on the summit this week, I got a little feisty and fired up on the summit, and it was fun to see people's expressions. You can't get that on a podcast, because you can actually see the reaction of your audience. I mean, it's fun.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's sorry, were you wanting to say something? I apologize, Hannah.
I was just going to bring it to the next level. and be like, well, then you go to in person, and it's just like so we have like, you know, you have like just audio and video, like, you know, it just kind of levels up.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Take it live is even better. I mean, look, what does Mark Siegel always say? When we can hug each other, when we can give each other, you know, a big hug and a big kiss, and we don't forget the dancing. You didn't see me in Miami. I danced with every person in Miami. I'm not even kidding you. I danced with 300 people.
That's awesome.
And I'm not talking at the same time. I'm talking, I danced with each person for 30 to 40 seconds. And
oh my goodness.
I wish you guys would have been there. Maybe I'll dance at the Global Vision Conference. But let me just tell you this.
We can do that.
We are. I think that's going to be part of my speech. Because I said to
cool.
Jay Nolan, who ran that event, I said, can I, for the first 5 minutes, can I dance? And he goes, it's your speech, it's your time, go for it. So I had the DJ play rap music, and I literally boogied with everybody in that audience. And I tell you, I made some of the best friends at that event just from a little dancing. So you can't do that online. You can't do that. You can't get that type of energetic exchange. So you're right, Hanna. In person is the best for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like your, you know, with your aspects on webcasting and everything, it really does bring you closer to having those in-person moments too, because over audio, it's a lot more skeptical of a thing to do, because, you know, when you're talking to people, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know whether or not they're really somebody who's taking care of themselves or anything like that, who's doing anything, you know, along the same lines as you. I mean, they could be whoever, and their voice, you're not really going to get any real judgment on what it is you're dealing with. So it might make you a little more leery on actually wanting to ever meet up in person, having an in-person event with those people. So
that's very true. Very true.
Yeah, that kind of brings me back to the whole, like, you know, when your parents are raising you and they're like, don't talk to people online. Like, I know that's what my parents told me a lot. Like, be careful with who you talk to online. But then it was always a thing of like, if you can see them and you can clearly tell, like, it's not like we saw some video of someone had a cat on instead of their actual. I just remembered that. But, like, you know, it's not a cat or it's not an alien or something. You're like, okay, clearly you're a person. Like, clearly, you know, you are you are the same age as me. Like, we're okay to talk. We're okay to play video. Like, playing video games today nowadays is like so, like, it's definitely like there are the levels of community building. And, like, I feel like I love the fact that that's truly what we're like uncovering here.
Yep.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And you made a very good point, which, you know, our parents can instill fear in us of building new connections. And there's you know, a lot of people say, I don't do social media. I don't do this. What are you, crazy? Don't you want to connect with the world? So you're not going to connect with the world because maybe one crazy person sends you a weird message on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
To me, you're cutting yourself off from the universe, and the risk is far minimal to the reward. I mean, the experiences that I have had and the friendships that I have made through the online and digital worlds are beyond belief. I mean, some of my best friends I've never met in person, and that's okay. I mean, look at Natan and I, the founder of the Essential Academy. We're best friends.
Hanna and I. Hanna and I. We met on Facebook dating.
What?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. Seriously?
Yeah, I reached out to her to just have a coffee and be friends and just have a conversation, and, you know, we ended up now almost a year later, a month from a year later, and we're together and, you know, having a life together. So
that is so beautiful. You know, I didn't see, it's so interesting. We've had hundreds of conversations together, and yet we're still always discovering new things. So I did not know that you met online. Sorry for me getting excited. It just blew my mind.
Hey, it's totally fine. I mean, it's something, you know, it shows though. It shows what we're talking about is the truth. It's fact. It's factual. I mean, we've we both wouldn't have been going and meeting the people we're meeting, or being on stage, or, you know, being published authors, or show hosts or anything like that if we hadn't have met online first off. So, you know, it really comes down to that digital community can really be very impactful.
And now
100%.
we're all like matching over here with our vests and stuff because his dad
Collared
and
shirts and stuff.
stepmom gave us vests and, like, you know, stepping up our couple game. But yeah, February 22nd. I can't even, like,
February
a whole
22nd.
year.
Yeah,
there
it's
any
a whole
It'll be a
year
whole year.
from the Global Vision Conference.
No,
And my birthday is
one more
in
month,
or one more month. Sorry, one more month.
February.
But
Yeah.
how interesting that it's the 22nd, like the Global Vision, and you met in
It's the 21st, yeah.
22 on the 22nd. Pretty fortuitous timing there, I
Yeah,
must say.
on
Second month,
2/22/2022.
22.
That's incredible.
Which is funny because 2015, I met some really old conspiracy guy in Santa Barbara who had a whole folder full of 22s and what 22 is referenced to throughout history, and like a bunch of stuff with like Abraham Lincoln and all of that stuff. So funny in my mind, just thinking about it now, it just popped in my head. Like 22 is a powerful number.
I think you should play the lotto with those numbers.
Maybe. But yeah, so
Sorry, just
I want
running
to
away a
go.
little
I want to
bit.
move. I want to move on to a little bit more about what you do in order to secure community for those around you. And one of that is with what we mentioned last time, was the self-powered entrepreneur course. Now, this week we are announcing the two winners of last week who is getting offered the self-powered entrepreneur course. One of which is Penny Sumrall, who had
Wow.
been, I believe, one of the first people to have shared. She had liked and had been commenting and all of that on the post, as well as Yari. He also was
Wow.
the other person who did all three things. So we would like
Amazing.
to say thank you to both of you for having gone through and helped share and promote our show, and we're happy to give you that service from Blanca, which if you would like to go into what exactly some of that might offer, and anybody who's watching who might be interested in learning on it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Penny and Yari. I'm so excited to have you as a student in the self-powered course. So the name of the course is the Self-Powered Entrepreneur. The mission of the course is to teach entrepreneurs how to become a self-created digital celebrity. And basically, there's 4 pillars to the course. We talk about social media, going live. We talk about streaming to multiple channels, as we're doing right now. Email management, landing page design, Zoom engineering, so many different elements of how to create your own platform. And how interesting is this? How to truly build your own community. Because that's the power of social media and digital skills, is that you can literally chase after any dream you this class has over 140 video lessons and also access to me twice a week on a Zoom meeting. And it's
Your audio went out.
Yeah,
I
you
spent
muted.
I spent a lot of time during COVID studying these skills and strategies and testing them. And so it's really my pleasure to share all of these strategies with all of our students. And we've had a really positive response. We are the #1 selling course on the Essential Academy platform. And
Congrats.
yeah, thank God. And
That
we
is
love,
awesome.
yeah, and it's all about, you know what, when I had another light bulb moment. You know how you build community? Having really, really good customer service. So when
Yeah.
you service your
Mm.
community members like a client, and you give them and you treat them like royalty, then they want to stay in your community. And it does take a lot of commitment, and it does take a lot of consistency. But like I said, the rewards are beyond measure. It's the best. The best reward is all the friendships you make. Literally, the best.
Agreed.
Well said. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, that's honestly what got me in the whole mindset of what I'm in right now with everything we're doing, is because for the last few years, I had been a mover, and all I kind of was focusing on, which got me, you know, the best reviews, or um, people wanting me to come back as a mover for multiple jobs. Surprisingly, I just focused on the customer service. I focused on speaking to the customers I was, around. And a lot of times in the moving industry, you're told, let the lead just take all the time to talk with your customers. Don't really talk to them if you're a helper, blah blah blah. Well, when I was a helper, I would talk to my customers, and when I became a lead, I would tell my helpers, I don't care if you talk to the customer, just as long as you're still working, make that connection, because as long as you're talking with them, that's when they're going to want to tip you. That's when they're going to want to, have us back, because ultimately they're not just feeling like you're some weird person walking through their house, touching their belongings and stuff. They kind of get a sense of who you are, what kind of person you are, by how you talk with them. And, ultimately that's how, when I was a telemarketer for credit card processing, I found myself on the phone for like 30 minutes at a time, sometimes when I was only supposed to be on there for like 2 minutes and making a sale, and it was, as an appointment setter, they'd go straight to the sales guy and be like, I'm sold, and it was because of just, it's just being real with the person, and having that customer service of caring about the person. So,
Yeah, being human is what I'd say.
yep.
Exactly.
Well,
Yep.
I think I've all out of questions. How about you? I think about ready to let Blanca go so she can get on to her next show. Think she's got something coming up.
I'm
yeah,
in no
you have
rush. You guys are VIPs. You're my number one priority. Whatever you need, I'm here for you.
Yeah. Well, I had another question. Um, my question was, so for those who want to, get into maybe webcasting, um, where would you say the best way to kind of start, if they were to look into like either your course, or say if they wanted to, um, hire anybody, like how would you say would be the best way to really start going about it?
Well, definitely. I mean, the self-powered course is an opportunity because, see, webcasting is not just getting on camera. There's a lot of other skills that go behind webcasting, such as graphic design, like those beautiful digital backgrounds that Hannah and Ron have. Those were right. Those were graphically designed. Planning the guests, creating Google forms so that you can ask your client, your guests questions, confirming the appointment through Calendly, having ability to invite new people to apply on your show through your link tree, and creating connection through the webcasting process. So, I mean, there's three ways to do it. I always say you can do it yourself. I mean, there's a lot of free resources. So if you have zero budget, I would say hit YouTube and start watching videos, and just start learning and studying videos and practicing. The key is to practice. If you don't practice the skills, you will not absorb them. You will not learn them. And of course, you can also take our course, The Self-Powered Entrepreneur, where I feed the information in 2 to 3 minute videos to make it very easy for you. And then I'm there to hold your hand and answer questions. And that was one of my biggest frustrations during COVID, because if I wanted to ask the instructor a question, they were charging, and I'm not kidding, 500 to 750 to 1,000 an hour for a one-on-one coaching, because they didn't want to do one-on-one coaching. And that was very frustrating, which is why I have the Zoom element to my class where people can call me, text me, join the Facebook group, and see me on Zoom. And then the third way is to hire. You can also hire our agency, The Laws of Life, and we can be your producer of your show and basically do a done for you service. And we'll create the intro, the outro, and get you going. It takes about a month to set up, but it does take some diligence in the beginning. But once you get going, you're on your way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I completely can concur now being here after a whole month. I feel like, the first 2 episodes were a little kind of wishy-washy with how we were able to handle things. And then, that third episode with Yari, I feel like it just kicked off from there, starting to really dive in and really get our feel of our placement. So it really does take that time, guys, and just be really diligent about it, like she said. And the last thing I want to talk about real quick, because I don't feel like we touched on it enough.
No problem.
What do you have to say about the Global Vision Conference coming up in less than 3 weeks?
Well,
roughly 3 weeks.
The Global Vision Conference is on Saturday, January 21st at the Broward County Convention Center, which is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is my favorite day of the year. It is my favorite day of the year. It's where visionaries, entrepreneurs, artists like Hanna, entrepreneurs, painters, poets like Yari that you had on your show, survivors of adversity like Daniel Johnston, just incredible people that take the stage and share their story. And you talk about community, that the platform that Johnny Regan has built, the founder of this platform, he's built a beautiful community. And I serve as his director of marketing for the event. And he's also one of my best friends. And I love supporting his vision. And I'm so excited that you two are both going to be taking the stage as speakers, as authors. And we've become a family through that platform as well. So I feel very, very blessed to be a part of it. It's literally, I've been eating, sleeping, and drinking the Global Vision Conference, and I'm excited. So January 22nd, and if you want any information, let me know. It's $27.77 to attend. That's the donation will go to Camille Rob's Just For You charity. 100% of the ticket sales go to charity. Okay? Sponsorship is still available. If you want to be a sponsor, come and see me.
And I just got to say, everybody, on that note, truly understand how dedicated Blanca is to Johnny and his vision and the Global Vision Conference, because even just a week ago for Johnny's birthday, she ran every single aspect of detail in order to make sure that was the most perfect birthday for that man. And, she brought so much of the community around him that he, probably wouldn't have been able to just get everybody around him by himself. She went out there, got all these people that are there that love them, and were able to bring them into town, get everybody food situated, get everything situated for the situation and for the birthday celebrations, and completely make it a spectacular evening for them. So this woman really is dedicated to her community and the people that she surrounds herself around and the people she loves. So, if there's anybody to really go towards when it comes to building your community, digital branding and platforming like that, I would put Blanca out there as the first person to go to. So
thank you so much. That means the world.
Thank you for joining us.
My honor.
I second that. Thank you, Blanca.
Love you
both. Soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
be well.
You too. Will do.
Well, I think that was a great start to the new year, if I do say so myself.
I do say so as well. I think, that was definitely something that's needed, especially with how the last couple of years have gone, and communities have really have indulged in more of the digital platforming and community like that. A lot less kids, a lot less people going outside and being a part of their communities, especially with COVID hitting and everything. Everybody been locked down. So, I believe that for the start of the new year, it really is a really impactful and important thing to go over. And, really, really, anybody out there who is having issues with building your digital audience, you really, I just gotta
Reach
say,
out.
reach out. We're here. Blanca's here. Um, and we want to make sure that you're not going to have to go through anything like COVID did to many of these entrepreneurs and business owners, or even employees. All you people that have lost your jobs and stuff, and you're trying to find a way to make some money. This is an opportunity to be able to help you figure out how to really do that, and all the different things to line up to be able to get your platforming out there. So. I'm honored to have Blanca come on and go over everything about that. So
Yeah, lucky we could catch her with her busy schedule.
yeah, especially in between a couple shows today. Um, but all right, well, thank you all for joining us who joined in and viewed us today live. Thank you for those who are joining in after the live as well. Gotta thank you all, just because a viewer is a viewer. You all definitely are part of our community, and even if you don't get to engage and interact with us while we're on our show, I'd love to interact with you and engage with you at some point. So reach out to us at Oasis Fundamentals, both on our Facebook and our Instagram. Reach out to us on Hannah's Crystal Dragon Illumination page as well, and her personal page, or my personal page. They're all open for you guys to reach out to us, and just get a little bit of engagement and grow your community. So
Yeah, 100%. And, come back next week, because we will be here. Even if we're a few minutes late, we're going to be sometime between these 2 hours, whatever time zone you're in. I know it's 4 to 5 for us, but it's definitely different. We got all the times. I don't like time zones. I don't like this.
and last thing I gotta say, if you haven't seen it yet, the summit that we were talking about earlier, it's every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So 8 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Mountain time, 10 a.m. Central time. So if you want to join in and learn more about the laws of life and what they have to offer, the networking summit is open to anybody, and you will be amazed by that beautiful community. I promise you. It is something I look forward to every week, and I hope you guys join us. So hopefully we'll see you there next week.
That's what I was waiting for you to say. I was like, isn't this like someone's favorite time of the week? Mr. Looking Dapper Man with your all smoothed over hair and everything. You don't always look that good around the house for me.
I try.
Yeah, you try for the viewers. Alrighty. Well, anyways, guys, I'll quit giving him crap and we'll just move on. All right. Thanks, guys. Be sure to like and follow everything, as he said. We got Spotify, Apple Podcast, everything. We'll post,
and you can find this on Laws of Life as well. We forgot to mention that too. Go follow, share Laws of Life page too. So
we go live. I think we go live there too. And yeah, every single week, same time, same place, same comment area, just down there underneath.
Yep. All right. Well, love you guys. And we will be seeing you next Thursday. Hopefully we'll also see you next Tuesday on the summit. So y'all have a good weekend.